Hey everybody, this is Dr. Alexis over at AZ Dance Medicine Specialist. And yeah, every once in a while I just post little tidbits, things and questions that I get asked on social media or just little tips from working with clients here in my clinic. So I want to talk today about, or just touch a little bit about hamstrings. I've been seeing a couple posts on social media about hamstring tightness, whether it's with sitting and reaching forward or standing and being unable to or having difficulty touching toes, especially with dancers. And a lot of teachers just looking for options and feedback on how they can increase the flexibility of the hamstrings. So the first thing that I want to say about that is be careful. Number one, usually, especially with dancers who struggle with flexibility in general, but particularly with the hamstrings, you might want to consider looking a little bit deeper into their core stability. And here's why. We definitely know that the hamstrings help with lifting the leg towards the back, which we refer to as hip extension. Dance-wise, it helps with like your arabesque and your grand mamas to the back. But hamstrings also play double duty. They have a secondary role to also hold the back up in terms of like being able to stand straight up. For walking, for sitting, for just general activity, not to mention for dance activities. So a lot of times when you have an instance of core weakness and the actual spinal muscles are at a disadvantage and not able to hold the back up or hold up the body or the trunk, a lot of times the hamstrings become like the body's biggest cheerleader and they just want to help out, they want to keep you dancing, so then they'll double duty to work as movers to lift the leg, but also to work as primary movers for keeping the back nice and straight because the spinal muscles aren't doing their job. When that's the case, that takes precedence, stability of the core takes precedence over mobility of the legs. So what that equals is the hamstrings aren't going to lengthen to allow somebody to bend forward or to allow somebody to be able to reach and touch their toes when their legs are straight out in front of them when they're sitting. So I hope that makes sense. So if you're having kids who are having problems with these tight hamstrings, definitely think about what their core is doing or where their core stability lies. And that kind of leads me to a second thing. I'm actually about to release an ebook about this, so keep your eye on my social media at AZDanceMed or azdancemed.com, which is my website, because I'm going to be posting links to where you can get my new ebook, which is going to have to do with recognizing core weakness or signs of core weakness, particularly in dancers, and giving some suggestions of things that you can look at to assess core stability, and then thinking about some types of exercises and activities that you can help guide your dancers to improving their stability. So, backtracking, some signs, sneak preview, some signs of core weakness in dancers, some big ones that you might not always relate to core weakness is anything going on in the mouth or tongue area. So if you got those dancers who kind of press their lips together, or they have a tongue that always wants to come out, or they always look like they're chewing their tongue or playing with their tongue while they're dancing, that's a clear sign, or that's a very strong sign of core instability that a lot of dancers show that kind of flies a little below the radar in terms of people picking up on that as a sign of core weakness. Other things, holding your breath, looking down when you dance, hyperextended, or that slightly bent knee that doesn't quite straighten, especially when it's on releve. Those are some other heavy hitters that really cue me into looking at a student's core stability when they're having certain types of problems, particularly when they're having problems with something like hamstring tightness. So if you're having a student who's particularly tight in their hamstrings, see if some of those other signs of core weakness pop up with them as well. You also want to take some time and just look at their basic just standing single leg balance. It doesn't have to be like a full retrograde, their foot doesn't have to be pointed, but just have them to balance on one foot and just kind of see how stable they are, see what their trunk wants to do. And then compare that to balancing with their eyes open versus balancing with their eyes closed. See if there's a difference with that. that might give you some clues as to the stability of their core muscles, or the ability of their core muscles to fire properly and accurately for their balance and for their overall stability. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to share those little tidbits. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled for the announcement and for the link of my ebook that goes into a little bit more detail of signs of core weakness in dancers and what you can do to help your dancers become stronger. But I hope this kind of answers a few questions or concerns that you might have with your dancers. If you have any other questions or anything about this topic, go ahead to shoot me a message on Facebook. We're just AZ Dance Med or AZ Dance Medicine Specialist. I'm AZ Dance Med on Instagram. Email is info@azdancemed. And like I said, our website is azdancemed.com. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you around.